In today's world, we find ourselves in a complex situation. Women are advocating for equal pay without embracing equal responsibilities. They are striving for leadership positions due to gender quotas, seeking workplace equality, but inadvertently contributing to office politics. The misconception here is that equal rights should come with corresponding responsibilities. It seems as though some believe they can enjoy all the benefits of equality while bearing minimal responsibility.
This bias has led some large companies to hire fewer women, as they see little to gain beyond filling gender quotas. However, the question arises, is this a result of women's actions? And does it represent a failure of feminism? Let's explore this further. Gender quotas, while well-intentioned, often lead to counterproductive outcomes. They prioritize the feminist agenda over merit, which does a disservice to both men and women. Many would rather employ qualified individuals, regardless of their gender. In the end, merit should outweigh quotas, even if the law sometimes contradicts common sense. The Me Too movement, while essential for addressing harassment, primarily focuses on women's experiences. When men face harassment or assault from female colleagues, their claims often receive less attention. The women responsible are rarely dismissed, usually receiving counseling instead. Unfortunately, they can make counter-accusations, putting men on the defensive and potentially harming their careers, even when proven innocent. The after effects of Me Too. Due to these evolving dynamics and the fear of being falsely accused, many men feel hesitant to approach women at work. This reluctance may have contributed to large organizations hiring fewer women and only doing so to fulfill quotas. However, it's important to note that not all women share this attitude. Some women apply the principles of good feminism, seeking genuine equality without demonizing men. But the confrontational brand of feminism, which blames all men for societal problems, can be alienating, leading to a strained atmosphere in the workplace. In today's corporate culture, men risk significant personal and professional consequences when interacting with female colleagues. The impact of a false allegation can be devastating, often leading to job loss and damaged reputations. The law tends to favor the accuser, often at the expense of the accused. This fear has driven men to avoid interactions with women, especially in professional settings, for fear of facing severe repercussions for even minor transgressions. In conclusion, the rise of the feminist agenda has ushered in an era of change, but it has also created new challenges and uncertainties in the workplace. Gender quotas, fear of false accusations, and the combative nature of some forms of feminism have shifted the dynamics between men and women at work, potentially hindering collaboration and professional relationships. Men have become increasingly cautious in their interactions with female colleagues, and organizations have become wary of hiring women, not for their capabilities, but as a means to meet quotas. The road to true justice for men in the workplace is fraught with complexities that require careful consideration and a focus on fostering inclusive and respectful environments for all. False accusations. Heaven forbid, if a woman so much as raises an allegation of harassment against a man at work, that man could face dire consequences, from losing his job to diminishing his chances of future employment, not to mention the potential damage to his reputation and self-esteem. This power dynamic undoubtedly tips the scales in favor of women in the workplace. As a result, it's hardly surprising that a notable 21% of men admit they would be hesitant to hire women for positions that require close working relationships, such as roles that involve frequent business travel. Additionally, 19% of men express reluctance to hire women whom society deems as conventionally attractive. These statistics reflect the growing wariness among men towards working closely with women, a trend that has gained momentum over the past decade. Men now often prefer collaborating and communicating with their male counterparts. In cubicles, during meetings, and in boardrooms, they tend to choose to work with other men. This preference stems from their fear of jeopardizing careers they've painstakingly built over time, where one baseless accusation could lead to the undoing of everything. In a society that predominantly values and trusts the accounts of women, even one unfounded charge can turn a man into a villain. Regrettably, modern society places the typical attractive woman on a pedestal, In movies, whether recent or classic, the leading character is frequently an exceptionally attractive woman or a morally impeccable man, while the villains tend to be older, unattractive individuals with scars, emphasizing their grotesqueness. This ingrained perception has influenced both men's and women's hesitance to hire attractive women because a false complaint against a man would likely be taken at face value. Observing a man's attempt to flirt with a beautiful woman is a long-standing tradition. Men find the issue of harassment extremely perplexing. Innocent banter between male co-workers can sometimes lead to accusations of harassment. In such cases, two male co-workers joking among themselves can find themselves under HR investigation for harassment, even if their intent was not to target anyone. Men have become wary of simple gestures like shaking hands with women, fearing it could be misconstrued as harassment. To avoid these complications, they prefer to avoid physical contact altogether. Men are avoiding women. This growing apprehension has led men to avoid being alone with women in professional settings, largely to protect their careers from potential mishaps. Some women have protested this, claiming they are no longer expected to overwork on projects and can leave the office at reasonable hours. They argue that men should bear the burden of staying late and working with other men. In reality, men simply want to avoid the rumor mills and unnecessary dramas that can arise from their interactions with women. Men often exclude women from private and confidential meetings within the team, fearing that inviting a woman into a confined space might be misinterpreted by others. The ripples of the Me Too movement's consequences continue to affect not just American, but also European, English, and global workplaces. As long as women continue to react strongly to the movement and occasionally level false accusations against men, as commonly depicted in the media, men will opt to limit their interactions with women in the workplace. Office environments are meant for productivity, not for gossip and drama, and unfortunately, many women are still associated with the latter. This quiet avoidance of hiring women is an unspoken strategy that companies employ to avoid the chaos and reduced efficiency often associated with an increased number of women in their workforce. In this scenario, it's clear that men will continue to distance themselves from situations where they can be alone with women at work, which extends to mentoring and traveling with female co-workers. This is not an indictment of women, but rather a protective measure that men have adopted to safeguard their professional interests. This, regrettably, is the only way to secure their future in the contemporary work landscape. In the current corporate landscape, men find themselves exposed to significant personal and career risks when engaging with female colleagues. The fallout from an unfounded accusation can be catastrophic, often leading to job loss and severe damage to one's professional reputation. The legal framework tends to lean in favor of the accuser, sometimes to the detriment of the accused. This prevailing apprehension has prompted men to limit their interactions with women, particularly in professional contexts, for fear of enduring severe consequences, even for minor missteps. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.